What's up, everyone? Namco Dustin here. 2015 Fantasy Football Running Back Rankings.
Get excited.
We are shooting this in mid-ish July, FYI.
Before we get into it, though, DraftKings are sponsoring all our preseason stuff, and we're trying to give away some Smack Talk shirts. If you sign up for DraftKings between now and the start of the season, use the promo code FST, click on the link in the card or down in the description. Sign up, deposit at least $5, and we'll send you a shirt. It's as easy as that, and DraftKings will give you free entry to a cash game. You can have thousands of dollars in prizes. You can use it now or once the season starts. Tier 1 at running back is me.
Start it up, Mr. Barkley.
There you go. We have Lacey and Charles as our 1-2. Adrian Peterson, he's the consensus #1 overall pick. We're just a little scared. You know, his numbers for 2013 were good. I mean, they were pretty good. But he's 2 years older now. A year off, I think, is a little scary for soft tissue stuff. I think he could, hammy, a groin, something like that. I don't know. I'm just a little worried about him, but we've moved him up a lot since we first started talking. At the beginning of football, we thought maybe late first, but obviously he needs to go early first.
It is Adrian Peterson.
And then Forte, his ADP is 11 right now. We don't necessarily understand that. I know it's a new offense, but he's too good to not be on the field, to not have the ball in his hands. Don't be that afraid of the new offense.
All right, let's go into Tier 2, talking first about Le'Veon Bell. He's got that 3-game suspension looming, but his appeal, they don't exactly know what's going to happen, but it sounds like it might be reduced, but right now we are ranking him like he's getting those 3 games off, and if he didn't have the suspension, he would be our #1 overall guy, and in PPR, 83 catches for over 800 yards last year. Gotta love that. And the other guy I want to talk about is CJ Anderson. Each hour. I'm loving this guy even more. There are some concerns about him, but he's lost 20 pounds. That's good. Peyton Manning's going to probably throw a rest. That's good for a running back. Gary Kubiak's now there. That's great for a running back. So all of those things lead me to believe he could end the year as the #1 overall player in all of fantasy. But there is a question mark because Gary Kubiak's like a guy that fits his system. Look at Forsett last year. He fit the system, and he ran away with it. So there's a little question mark, so that's why he's ranked 7. But big risk, big reward with this guy.
Tier 3, we got 2 guys I want to talk about. First one's Arian Foster. Now, I'm talking a lot about ADP, but it does make a big difference when you're looking at running backs. His ADP right now is 7. That, to me, is a little scary. He's touched the ball so many times over the last handful of years or so, and that's where his value is, in volume. And I think he's going to have a hard time staying healthy, but he's getting drafted really high, but you got to be excited if he does stay healthy. And then Jeremy Hill, this guy really stormed onto the scene last year. We knew he had some upside, but I don't think many people were predicting what he did. I mean, this kid is legit. The Bengals have one of the best 1-2 punches in the league with him and Bernard. And Hill's going to continue to be the early down guy, and you got to be excited about him this year.
All right, going to Tier 4, talking about 2 again. First one's Frank Gore. And some people are like, oh, Frank Gore, he's boring, he's old. But he's on the Colts now, and I love him on that offense. And the biggest stat that I love is last year, nobody faced more 8-in-the-box fronts than Frank Gore. In fact, he was at 76, Murray was at 58, and Forsett was at 52. Just thought that was interesting. So due to the fact he's with Andrew Luck, he's not going to have 8 in the box, which I think is going to really help him a lot. Next, I want to talk about Justin Forsett. Gary Kubiak is gone. I think that if they don't keep that zone blocking scheme, his value is going to go way down because it's not like he was a rookie last year and started playing great. He'd been in the league for a long time and did nothing for a long time. Had a monster year last year, so he's a big buyer beware for me.
Let's take a look at Tier 5. One of the biggest guys that's getting a lot of hype this offseason, CJ Spiller, now with the Saints. Obviously, you're way more excited about him on the Saints than the Bills. Don't get overexcited about him, but obviously any type of PPR league, that's where his main value is going to be because Ingram's going to be getting the early down work. But Spiller could have a little bit of a fantasy revival with.
I like Spiller this year, actually. First time ever.
And then Andre Ellington. Here's a guy, a lot of people are worried about the rookie David Johnson, and they should be because Johnson's going to instantly get carries. But here's what I want to say about Andre Ellington. He only needs 15 carries or 15 touches to be relevant. They're going to spread him around, get the ball in his hands. He always has big play potential. Don't let Johnson scare you too much. Ellington's still a solid mid-round pick.
All right, as we look at Tier 8, just talking about one guy here. Actually, we're going to go to tier 6. And we're going to talk about Giovanni Bernard. Little preview, Doug Martin's coming. So, Gio Bernard, he talked about Hill, and Bernard, here's Bernard. His value is great, not great, but solid in a PPR league. But the thing that I like about Bernard, if Hill goes down for any reason, you are looking at a stud number 1 running back. So he can have flex value now, and if something happens to Hill, you get a number 1. That's what you're looking at.
It's not bad.
Not bad.
I like that. Tier 7.
You're a Bengals fan.
I want to talk about the Giants situation. Rashad Jennings. The guy's a little bit older, but he proved that when healthy, he can put up solid stats. And that Giants offense, I think, is really going to make big steps this year.
They're falling in love with that offense.
I like their potential. They got a ton of weapons. And one of the big reasons I do like them is because of the next guy. Jennings is going to get the early down work, but Vereen is going to be a big part of that offense. I think he will, get a decent amount of carries, but they're going to put the ball in his hands, all sorts of screens. And if Jennings does go down, obviously Williams is going to come in there and get some carries, but Vereen could be huge. I mean, we've seen what he can do with spurts of the Patriots, and getting him off that team and on a team that can consistently use him and use him the way that he should be used. I'm a huge fan
You're
of Vereen.
hating on the coaching of Bill Belichick right now.
He wins games, but I hate him for fantasy.
He's terrible.
You never know what to do with him.
All right. Now let's talk about tier 8, and let's talk about Doug Martin. So here's the old Doug Martin. His rookie year, he had 1,500 yards and 11 touchdowns, and he played every game. Since then, he played a total in 2 years of 17 games. In those 17 games, for the 2 years combined, less than 1,000 yards and only 3 touchdowns. And every year since his rookie year, we've just been hearing, oh, he looks great in the offseason, he's going to come in, he's going to do great. We just can't rank him that way. He's burned us too many times. We're not a huge fan. They have other kind of options out there. So Doug Martin is a late round gamble. Sure, he looks like he's the starter going in, but don't be reaching for this guy whatsoever.
Tier 9, I want to talk about an interesting rookie, and that's Duke Johnson with Cleveland.
Love him.
This is a very talented guy. Take a look at what he did in Miami. Very interesting running back. Obviously we have Crowell ranked higher than him. You need to draft him higher than him if you want the Cleveland running back. But I would rather take Johnson like 2 or 3 rounds later and take the gamble on that upside than go after Crowell. I think Crowell is a much more boring but safer pick. And then, real quick, Danny Woodhead and Sproles. Don't forget about these guys in PPR leagues. These are guys that you can get super late, and they're guys that, when healthy, can finish in the top 20 at running backs in PPR leagues.
They are flex offense in
yes,
PPR
they
leagues.
very
Definitely.
much so, and they always get too much hate because of their stature. They're little guys, but they can definitely help you in PPR leagues. Don't let them slip too far.
All right, tier 10, talking about Fred Jackson. And there's a lot of people that have stood by Fred Jackson, drafted him every year because he goes so late, and every year he produces. It's finally over. It's finally over. McCoy's there now. He's going to get almost all of the carries. And they're even saying right now that Fred Jackson's borderline, might even get cut because he's just getting older. So just keep that in mind when thinking of Fred Jackson. Sorry, buddy. It's over. We had some good years together, though.
I want to talk about one guy in tier 11, and that's Tyler Gaffney for New England. And here's the thing. You never know what's going to happen with New England.
I want to be intrigued by him so bad.
I mean, you have to be intrigued. Blunt, with where he's getting drafted, he's a high-risk guy. I mean, again, I would much rather wait until the very last pick, and take a gamble on Gaffney and just see what happens. I mean, the Patriots are known for, drafting people that they know are going to help them. And obviously they have some faith in this guy, so we'll see. Interesting late round pick.
It's good. Unlike other teams that draft people that they don't think will help them.
Well,
I know what you mean. I'm just poking a little bit.
Come
It fits their system.
on.
I get you. All right. We're going to talk about tier 12. We're going to talk about Matt Jones. He was drafted in the 3rd round by the Washington Redskins. And at first, a lot of people, and we're in the DC area, hated that because they're like, that's the one position we actually have a good player in Alfred Morris. But Matt Jones might fit the scheme more, and the new GM they have here really loves him. And all that we're hearing in the OTAs is that he's their 3rd down guy, great hands, quick speed, good bursts. So he's at least, again, he's the 3rd down back with a lot of upside. It's like it's a lesser version of the Gio Hill. It's the Alf Matt Jones.
And Halu is gone.
And Halu is gone. I have that in my notes, but thanks for covering me. That's why I said I'm being nice.
That's what we do.
Always
we help each other out. Nanker right here, Dustin right here. This is the running backs. Sign up for DraftKings. Check out our other tiers and rankings. Got any questions, post them in the forums. and our top 150 cheat sheet on the site. You're gonna want to print that out.
Oh,